Welcome to a bright and sunny Hull for round one of the AquaX Championship.
There are almost 24 competitors in this year's championships, including double AquaX title holder Russell Marmon, who is back for 2013. However, conflicting dates with his world endurance commitments leaves him unable to attend all of the UK rounds.
I've got some commitments in Russia to race in August, and that coincides with one of the rounds here. So I wanted to run full power on the machine for training and everything else. So yeah, I'm using it just for fun, really.
That means the 300 class title is up for grabs, and stepping up to that category is Anya Colley.
I'm here riding the AquaX series in the 300 class, which is new to me this year. Last year I rode just 2 rounds in the 200, so a lot less power, and you know, this year I'm getting a few aches and pains. So I've done a lot of gym training. I've been going to the gym quite a lot, but I've not rode this. This is the first time on the ski ever, so it's a lot different. You know, it rides a lot different to the Kawasaki that I rode last year, so it's just going to take some getting used to, but I really enjoyed it, so hoping for a good season.
This year's UK Championship takes the racers to 5 coastal locations, starting here in Hull before moving on to Plymouth, Margate and Torquay, with the season ending in Essex in early September. At 3 of the venues, the series will run alongside the P1 Superstock Powerboat Championship. Among the competitors taking part in this round are the current 250 champion Matt Shipley and the defending 200 champion Chris Leach. The pair, of course, will be up against some very stiff opposition this weekend. Some old faces and some new faces on the River Humber. On board with Adrian Wilson, waiting for the signal to go. And there it is, so racing underway. AquaX is split into 3 categories, 200, 250 and 300 horsepower, to accommodate huge diversity in engine displacements. 2-stroke craft and naturally aspirated 4-stroke craft up to 180 horsepower compete in the 200 class, whereas the 250 and 300 classes are reserved for the more powerful turbo and supercharged 4-strokes. This is on board with Adrian Wilson, competing in the 250 class again. He ended last season in 6th place. Number 70, Dave Huddleston. Wayne Curtis in review, he first rode a jet ski 20 years ago, but last year was his first as a racer. There is 51, Jim Goodchild, a former British, European and world stand-up ski champion, an early title contender last year before he was plagued with mechanical issues. 81 is Aisha Rensink. Competing in the 300 class, she along with Anya Colley is on a Sea-Doo RXP X260. This is the man leading the way in the 300s, Dave Huddleston on the Kawasaki Ultra, having stepped up from the 250 class, having won that championship. Second in the 300 category in the early stages is Tim Batt. And still leading the 250 class, of which Huddleston has vacated, is Adrian Wilson. He stalled to victory in the final event of 2012. 51, Jim Goodchild. He popped a boost tube in the qualifiers and scored 0 points, so he's desperate to make his mark on the leaderboard. 323 is another AquaX regular, Steve Robinson, 3rd in his first full season last year in the 300 category. In the 200s, John Heath found himself in the water when he came off his Yamaha FX 160, but soon remounted and carried on. This is the battle for 4th, hotly contested by Jim Goodchild on 51 and Anya Colley on 52, and she's the leading Sea-Doo rider. 131 is Steve Hockney on the Yamaha FX 160. As the race wore on, Adrian Wilson began to tire, and he came under pressure from Matt Shipley. Duncan Johnston held 3rd place behind Wilson and Shipley, who'd moved into 1st in the 250s. Colley continued to battle away with Goodchild for fourth, neither giving the other an inch. For Wilson, it was fatigue and Matt Shipley which were to get the better of him. Out front, it was Russell Marmon who set the pace, but that was of little concern to the rest of the field as they chased valuable championship points. The checkered flag out, and Russell Marmon looked set to pick up the cup for the whole Grand Prix of the Sea. In terms of the respective championships, it was wins for Tim Batt, Matt Shipley and John Heath, with a second day of competition still to come.
It's the first flat round I've been to. Every other one's been absolutely mad, you know, really big waves. So it was full gas yesterday, so my muscles have taken a bit of a hit, and had a good battle with Jim Goodchild. It was a really good race.
Day two, and conditions on the Humber still relatively calm. Stark contrast to this event last year, when the competitors had to tackle horrendously rough conditions. A huge crowd to watch the second race of the weekend. This year, the races have been lengthened to 40 minutes plus one lap. So, racing underway. And this is 22 skiers thundering down the Humber estuary, the sound of their engines echoing off the quayside wall. Adrian Wilson fading in the first race and hoping for a stronger finish this time. Number 51, Jim Goodchild, off to a good start, dogged by mechanical problems in race one. And with conditions being so calm, it favours the faster guys. Tim Batt and Jim Goodchild leading the way out front, but Batt was to suffer with arm pump when the muscles in his forearm began to tighten, causing him pain and slowing him as a result. Russell Marmon was looking for success in the AquaX Cup. However, racing for championship points with Dave Huddleston, looking to go one better than his second place finish of the day before, and he was ahead of Anya Colley. This is 51, Jim Goodchild, and 92, Richard Cable, both enjoying better fortunes than 24 hours earlier. Having previously competed in the 200 class, this was Chris Leach's first in the 250s. Steve Robinson and Duncan Johnston, side by side. Making his debut this weekend is 133, Richard Rowe, with 33, Rob Hicks, having made a couple of appearances in 2012. Problems for 66, Wayne Curtis. Looking to repeat or even improve on her fourth place finish of the day before was Anya Colley. While Curtis was up and running again, but not for long, and he had to call it quits. One of the AquaX regulars is 62, Ron Burgoyne. He's in the 200 class on a borrowed Sea-Doo XP after his Yamaha suffered mechanical failure. Leading the way in the 300 class was Jim Goodchild. He'd started the previous campaign well, but was plagued by mechanical issues throughout the season. 21 is Ian Moole, 6th in the 300 class on day one, but going much better this time, alongside 250 racer Duncan Johnston and his Yamaha FZR. No catching Matt Shipley in the 250 class though, as he went about chasing win number 2 for the weekend. Steve Robinson would follow the previous day's 5th place finish with a 6th this time. As the flag came out, it would mean victories for Goodchild in the 300s, Shipley in 250, John Heath in the 200s, and Russell Marmon triumphant in lifting the AquaX Cup. This is how the three classes finish. Another second place for Huddleston in the 300 category, with Wilson and Hockney also runners-up in 250 and 200 respectively.
You came off the ski yesterday, but you stayed on it today and you've got first place.
Yeah, it was just brilliant, really. It was quite unexpected.
Dave, winner in the 300 class this weekend, you must be stoked.
Yeah, it's brilliant, excellent, and I've been trying to do it for the last 2 years, get the overall win, and yeah, it's my first one today on the new Kawasaki, so well chuffed with that, yeah.
The guys around me are very tough, they're very good guys. We've got Duncan who won it in 2011, and we've got Adrian as well. They pushed me all weekend, but I had a good start to the season.
And you were getting your best out your ski out there today in some pretty flat conditions.
It was flat, it was a full-on hard race, but it was still, the skis are quite small, so it bounces you around a lot out there and it works the arms and works the legs. It was still quite challenging.
So, 2 races completed, and this is how the 3 championships look. Consistency the key for Huddleston. 2 second places puts him above race winners Goodchild and Batt in the 300 class, with Shipley and Heath both in maximum scores in their categories. With that, it's time to bid a fond farewell to Hull and the River Humber for another year. Next, it's a trip south to Devon for round 2. Well, there'll be plenty more champagne spray along with sea spray when the P1 AquaX Championships hits the bay at Plymouth Sound.